Video is starting. Video is starting. Video is starting. Hey, you're now live! Exclamation mark. That's what it says on ours.
Okay.
I'm going to share.
Are we really live, though?
Are we really live? That's what I'm going to put when I share it. Not are we really love, and not are we really in love.
What about just alive and live?
It really wanted me to say, are we really in love? All right.
I wish I could just do a whole predictive text thing, like 3 words. What are 3 I don't have it set up to do it, but like, what would be 3 good predictive text words that just like episode 70 or whatever we're on, 71, 70, whatever. Those 3 words. You don't have your predictive text set up?
I mean, I do, but I don't know, like...
Do you think if I go to a website, if I just Google, if I Google, in quotes, 3 random words...
Okay.
Do you think it'll
Well,
give me
if
3
you do it
random
in
words?
quotes, it's going to look up websites that say 3 random words.
Okay, so if I just write in 3 random words.
random word generator.
Oh, random word generator. All right. All right. So this is going to be what our episode is named. 3 words. Number of words, 3.
By the way, I'm very happy that no one has clocked in yet to watch this mess.
Generate random words. Land straight performer.
Well, that actually sounds like something we would talk about.
Straight land performer. Or straight performer land.
I think straight land performer would be good. All right. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, let's go.
Hey, Matt.
Kenny.
How would you like free shipping?
On what?
On
what?
some of our fabulous merch at twomoves.com/merch.
I was going to say pizza.
Oh.
The delivery fee annoys me, but
That
is that
is
really
true.
shipping? What's the difference between shipping and then delivery fees? Shipping fees and delivery fees.
I think shipping means it has to travel from a faraway location. Now, how far away that is, that I don't know. That's actually a good point.
All right, go.
But if you would like free shipping on any Two Moves merch items, that's going on. We got a sale going on. Free shipping on any order, no minimums. From now until the end of the weekend, you can get free shipping on anything. You get yourself a fanny pack, get yourself a duffel bag, get yourself a shirt, get yourself a cap, get yourself a sweater.
Look at this fine shirt here. Completely blank. Should have a 2 Moves logo on it.
It should. And if you did, it would have free shipping associated with that. So twomoves.com/merch. We would absolutely love for you to buy some fabulous 2 Moves gear with free shipping. Can you believe it, Matt?
Oh, I believe it. Because we've been saying it for many episodes now.
Indeed. It runs until the end of the weekend. Please get
That
us
I don't
some merch.
believe. It'll be back.
twomoves.com/merch. In the meantime, enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 7 acknowledged wonders of the world. You are about to witness the 8th.
I don't know if you heard of it. Rolling Thunder in the background.
Rolling Thunder was
What caused you to get that nickname?
Yeah, I changed it.
That's weird. Okay.
What you don't know is I grew up on a Native American territory.
Okay.
My middle name was Rolling Thunder.
Okay.
Bingo, bango, bongo. They kicked me out. I said get rid of. They stripped my Native American name from me.
What could get you kicked out of a Native American reservation? That's not racist.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm trying to think of a funny joke, but even then, I don't even want it to come off poorly. But I'm sure. Look, I'm sure they're very forgiving. Maybe. Oh, you know what? I got one.
Oh.
You're at one of the casinos.
Okay.
You just go through so much money on credit. Don't pay them back. They boot you out of the reservation.
Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. Welcome, guys. 2 Moves, episode 71. I'm Kenny.
Matt.
And we are here to, waste your time. Because I was going to say entertain you, but we all know it's...
Why waste just 2 people's time when we could be wasting everyone else's who listens.
I
as
like
well.
it. I like that. And again, we have many things to talk about. It has been a bit since our last show. You can always contact us. You could text us 347-MYMOOFS, MYMOOFS, as well as email us show@twomoofs.com. And of course, we will always look at our Facebook feed, our Facebook group. We got some people chiming in already. Facebook Nick, I think he forgot one of the lonely thoughts that you had, and he reposted, hey, how would you decide the king of the Moof Troop? Could you do like
You send your guy.
Yeah, you send your guy. But then I started thinking, I was like, you know what? That is true, because clearly between the two of us, I will fully admit this, I am very weak.
Weak sauce.
And if it was a physical fight between Matt and myself, Matt would easily overtake it and win.
If we had a trivia contest, most likely you're going to win. Battle of Wits. If we were in that movie, The Princess Bride.
Okay.
You are the guy who sits him down for the game. Sits the masked man for a game of wits.
Okay. If we were to do the poisoned cup do-si-do, do you think I could triple reverse mind F ya?
Well, we could probably try that. But let's just do like really, if we could find some beverage.
Ooh, okay. One would be regular Coke, and one would be Dream Coke,
which is garbage.
That's
right.
Delicious. Absolute delicious.
We could do it with the jelly beans, but we don't know which jelly bean is real or not.
But okay, do you think I could trick you? All right, here's something. One of the games that I really love, and they do it in some reality shows, is it's one of those where, like, let's say you and I are on a team and we win $1 million.
Yeah.
But then we do the thing where it's like, okay, if we both say split, we each get $500,000. If we both say keep, no one gets any money. But if only one of us says keep and the other one says split, the person that says keep gets all million.
We should do that.
Well, the problem is there's only certain scenarios.
We need
that
to find someone
off.
to put up $1 million for us for this show. If you're out there,
they are not out there.
We're happy to split.
I mean, I love you, Moof Troop, but I'm guaranteeing you, not one of you out there has $1 million just to throw at us. Put that in the bank.
We could do stickers, 1 million stickers.
Ooh.
Who wants to split those? Who's going to say all?
Well, here's the
Who's
thing.
going to say they want all?
They're already infiltrating my closet, so please, for the love of God, get us free sticker. twomoose.com/sticker.
Let's go.
All right. But yeah, you can always interact on on Facebook. And then Carmen chiming in with the fried chicken ice cream. It's ice cream that looks like a bucket of fried chicken.
All these wild ice creams, man.
Yeah, I think that would be delicious. But here's the thing. It just seems like it's regular tasting ice cream. It doesn't seem like it's chicken flavored. It's just in the shape of a chicken drumstick.
Okay. All right. So it could be vanilla in there. And that could be just like ground nuts on top, right? To make it look like it's fried chicken.
Exactly. And that's why I'm like...
And it looks like it's the same color and texture as fried chicken.
And it'd be delicious. What if it was covered in peanuts like a drumstick? That would be tasty. I would go through that. Thanks to Nikki and thanks to Jeremy chiming in. Jeremy was talking about he went to Sbarro's to relive his youth, and it's absolute trash now. But here's the thing: it was probably absolute trash back then.
Exactly. There are so many things that I've gone and revisited.
We
like
just
that.
didn't know any better.
Certain drinks, certain foods, places to eat, and it's not the same. It's just not. And I'm like thinking similar to you. Has it changed over the years, or have my taste buds matured?
Well, and that's what's crazy, because when you were a kid and you went to the mall and Sbarro's was available,
Sbarro's was what's up.
Everyone was wanting that cheese slice or that. And here's the thing: who went to Sbarro's and got the pasta?
Oh,
you only went for the pizza.
Speaking of things that still remain bon appetit.
Oh.
Fazoli's.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say it. Oh, that Fazoli's breadstick is so good.
We have plans. We do have plans.
I think we're going to do a Sunday fun day out there. I subscribe to the Fazoli's email club, so I get all the latest updates on a Fazoli.
That's literally just one guy sending out an email to you every week.
Please, I'm begging you, come to Fazoli's. Yep, and then there's some other stuff too. Like what about like video games? Because like how sometimes you go back to like the original Mario, and I'm like, that's got some entertainment value, but then you'll play like Duck Hunt. You're like, after a couple of minutes, you're like, this is actually really dumb.
So there are two video games that I've played as an adult now that were like a staple of my teenage years, specifically in the arcade, the X-Men arcade game.
Yes.
For a while, you could download. It might still be out there, but for like $5, you could download it on iPhone and play it on your iPhone. I paid for it. I'm like, this is going to be so much fun. Played through it once. Had no desire to play it again because you have unlimited lives. There's no quarters.
So here's the thing. I think
it just wasn't fun.
In the retrospect, before we get to your other game, there's a company out there called Arcade 1UP, and they're actually doing like reproduction models of X-Men, of Street Fighter, of NBA Jam, of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, and it's like
and that was the other one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We used to play at that bar downtown, and it was just unlimited play. You get bored with it. It's just smashing buttons. There's like no strategy really.
Yeah, but like for example, here's like the Mortal Kombat. You know, you can get a stand-up console for like $100, and this is just the one player, but you can get the 2-player version. The one that I would love, and it still holds, is NBA Jam.
That has a little bit more skill to it,
especially
for sure.
If you get 4 players on NBA Jam. Oh, that is some fierce competition.
See, for me, it would be Street Fighter. Street Fighter, you know, if I had people over and you just wanted to challenge them to a few games, totally have enough fun with that.
And we were talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and immediately one of our listeners was like, April was so hot. It was unfair how hot she was, and she only hung out with turtles, and any of her human friends were her coworkers, and they were absolute pieces of shit.
Right. She bonded more with mutants
turtles. Yeah, exactly.
So
you have a shot, Matt.
Well, what's funny is...
See, that was an insult. I called Matt a mutant. That's where that joke went.
Just no one thought it was funny.
I don't know. I'm getting some jaws going out on the...
When I was a kid and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie came out, my father took my brother and I to go see it, and we must have seen it like 10 times in the theater. But I used to say all the time, I was so hoping... I don't even know where this came from. So hoping that my dad and April O'Neil would meet and become a thing. Yeah. And it was almost like a joke at some point, but like as a kid, I was like, man, I really hope that happens because that would be so cool because I thought she was good looking. And, you know, I was like, wouldn't that be awesome? April O'Neil, the actress that played April O'Neil. That
would be. And you know, there was a different actress that played April O'Neil in the first movie and then in the second movie.
Yeah, I know. The first one, I feel that was like legit.
Oh, exactly.
The second. Yeah, no.
Now, don't get me wrong. Secret of the Use, pretty solid movie when you're a kid.
Oh, yeah.
But April O'Neil, subpar. And Jeremy invites us where he makes po' boy sandwiches. They have a four-person NBA Jam machine, so we need to like do a little moof tournament.
Is he telling the truth? That seems very, very convenient for. I think he's just making things
up. Speaking of living in nostalgia, a couple of weekends ago, I actually went over to my 20-year high school anniversary. Matt, you and I went to the same high school.
Reunion. Is it anniversary or
I'm sorry, reunion. I don't know why I said anniversary. Yeah, the 20-year graduation reunion, class of 2002. Matt was a class of 01, so he didn't participate in the shenanigans. And it was really weird because we mentioned this before. We tried the 10-year reunion, and no one ended up going to that. And I think it was just at a point.
I had my 10-year, and we didn't do a 20.
Well, it was weird. So I think, and it could have just been the group of people, but I was thinking, okay, everyone's in their late 20s. We all have social media. We don't really need to see like what's going on.
You guys could have just set up a Discord and just hung out together one night.
Discord wasn't around 10 years ago.
No.
Oh, now. But see, that's the reason I think 20-year was a thing now, because some people have just fallen off of social media and they're not on it as much, so they would like to catch up. Now that they have families and they've settled down a bit, it's like, let's relive the past. Let's have some fun. So it was a weekend thing, and it was out in Rockledge, where we grew up. And for those of you who don't know Rockledge, it's a pretty small town. I'm not saying it's like podunk in terms of like, like redneck, but by no means is it any big city at all. Right. Like we got a McDonald's, all right? But we were there, and we went to a local bar. It was a 3-night thing, or 3-day thing. The first one was a bar night for adults only, no kids. And that was a lot of fun. And when we showed up there, had a bunch of drinks. A couple of things about that, though. I love the people that put it on. I'm not knocking them at all. But we get there, no one's got name tags.
I feel like that's a staple. You have to have name
that's
tags.
Fine, because we knew most of the people. But every once in a while, someone would come up who recognizes you, but you don't recognize them. And you're like, oh, hey, what's up, dude?
So I went with my then fiance to her reunion.
Yeah.
And it was at like Wekiva Park, and it was really well done. There were name tags. They had, a nice buffet set up, music playing, drinks. But what was really cool was they had a what's the thing you put in the ground and you put it in there for 10 years, and then when you dig it back
like
up,
a
what's it
time
called?
capsule.
Time capsule. I don't
Yeah,
even know
yeah.
what to think of that. So they had a time capsule for the graduating class, and everybody from the class was supposed to put something memorable
Yeah.
in there. And so they opened it, and everyone started passing it around things, photos, notes. It was really, even though I didn't go to this high school, it was cool to see, these 30-year-olds or however old they were at the time,
Yeah, late 20s.
late 20s, opening this box and finding like really cool stuff. And I'm like, man, I never would have. There was a hacky sack in there, or like a treasure troll,
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
from back then, and then notes and photos. But that's one thing that I kind of wish that our class had done.
Well, so we get up there and no name tag. So a majority of the people knew who people were, but then again, I had to be in that awkward situation where I'm just like, hey, Kenny, what's up? And I'm like, oh, what's up, man? What are you up to nowadays? And like trying to gather.
You should have been like, who that is?
I was trying to get like,
no, really, who are you?
but I was trying to gather like contextual clues. Be like, oh, what are they doing for a living? Do they still live in the city? Are they
Right.
out, like, do they have a significant other? And then because I didn't know that and no one had name tags, a significant other would be there and introduce themselves.
And they were the person that went to Rock.
But here's the thing. I was like, wait, I don't know you. Did you go to Rockledge? But then I'm assuming because they walked up to me and said hi, I'm like, oh, yeah, remember when we did this? And they're like, I'm not from here. So that was like grossly awkward. But so that didn't happen. But then we had a PA system, and the person who organized it goes up, and she was like, hey, thanks, guys, for coming. Go Raider
Yeah.
Pride. Just the announcements to say thanks.
Did you have any of the faculty there?
No faculty. Well, at least not at this event. This was like the party we're all going to get drunk kind of event. Well, she goes up there, and then, I'm thinking, okay, she's getting on the mic because she wants to say, hey, thanks for coming out, whatever. And they were playing some music from when we were in high school. So we were hearing like, some Jennifer Lopez and, Khalees, so stuff like that. Well, then she goes up and goes, all right, so what we're going to do is I'd like everyone to come up to the mic and say who you are and what you're doing and where you're from. And we're like, oh, no.
People hate
Oh,
that. That's
this-
the number one fear, even more so than death, is public speaking.
I know. So with me, I didn't care as much because, I'm an extrovert. I can go ahead and do that. But I can definitely tell not
Thomas,
one other person.
You started off with, my name's Kenny Samson, I'm here to say. Tell me you started off with that.
Were you there?
No.
Because I literally did that. So
Like those words.
So she goes up. She obviously introduces herself first, and then the people who helped coordinate it with her, they do their thing, and then like silence. No one wanted to do that. So I go up, and I'm like, all right, I'll kick things off. And I swear to God, I went.
You did tell me of one person who went up and was like, this is what's going on. I'm, about to be, or, married, but soon to be divorced.
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
But
That
you didn't tell me what you did.
So I went up and I said, well, my name is Kenny, and I'm here to say that I like Fruity Pebbles in a major way. And everyone starts laughing, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then, you know how I dress too, so I was also dressed up. Not one person was like coming up to the mic
No
to
one
like get it
clapped.
for me.
No one clapped for you.
Well, no, they were all laughing and whatever. But I'm talking, waiting for the next person to walk up and be like, okay, cool, thanks. Here's the next person. No one walked up. So I'm like, all right, let me just riff. And I start doing like some stand-up bits and talking about like my outfits and stuff. Because it was
And it got so bad
It
that
was-
someone had to come relieve
I'm
you.
sitting there-
Someone who didn't, so fearful of public speaking that your riffing was worse than public speaking.
And maybe that's why I did it, to try to like make other
you
people.
bombed so hard that they gave in to their fear of public speaking.
Someone's got to be the hero of the situation.
Oh, yeah.
And that clearly was me. So
The hero that we don't deserve, but the hero we need.
we need. So some people go up and they do their thing, but again, people don't like public speaking. So like I'm sitting back there with some of the people we know, and I'm like, this is so awkward. Like this is very cringy, because people would go up and be like, hi, I'm Mike. I'm a car mechanic, and I still live in Rockledge. And then they would like not continue talking at all.
That could be. Here's the thing: that could be bad hosting. You know what would have been better is to hand out like index cards and say everyone do 2 truths and a lie.
Oh, again, I think that would have been perfect. Now,
yeah.
there were about like a few dozen of us there, so that might have taken a bit long. But I definitely think like, hey, how about you hand out an index card and be like, hey, we're going to put like 5 wacky questions and you go up and you answer one of the questions, and it could be something interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it could be whatever. Yeah, there were some people up there. Yeah, the person talked about their personal life, and some of them just got really weird. Our friend Linda got up, and all throughout high school, everyone thought that she was Afton. They would always confuse the two, so she literally goes up and says, "Hey guys, my name's Afton," and like a couple of people chuckle, but then we started realizing I think people legitimately think that's Afton still. Like I think in 20
You might as well.
In 20 years, not one thing has changed because again, no name tags.
And meanwhile, everyone's like, I'm bummed Linda didn't show up.
So again, it was one of those like we paid tickets for the whole thing, and the tickets were for the multi-day event. I'll talk about that in a second. So we all get 1 drink free. That was basically the thing. Is at this place we all got 1 drink free, and then the rest of it you pay for your own. I'm like, that's fine. I had 5 or 6 drinks. I was responsible. Don't worry. But 5 or 6 drinks, and I'm thinking, okay, normal bar when we go out, like 5 or 6 drinks, probably like 50 or so bucks. 45,
Right.
whatever, maybe even higher because I'm. Lady waitress comes up and be like, yeah, that will be like $18.35, and I'm like,
No.
are you? Wait, no, I had.
What
wait.
is this mysterious
And,
place?
and I sat there, and then she gave me my itemized list, and like each drink was only like $2.50, $3.
What were you drinking?
Like vodkas, and not Wells either. Like I was drinking like mid-level vodkas, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, we grew up in Rockledge. Like this is what happens when you're in a small town.
Man.
Like this small town.
Is it worthwhile to drive all the way back out there for a night of drinking?
I'm telling you, man, this small town gave us some small town prices. It was incredible.
Did
like, how
anyone
cheap
go
it
up
was.
and say, my name's so-and-so, I graduated in 2002? And it's like, well, duh, that's why you're here.
No one embarrassed themselves that way. But we all took the photo and stuff afterwards, and that was fun. So the next day was a family day. It was like a family picnic day. I didn't go to it because 1, don't have kids, don't
Right.
care, and also it was like scheduled for like 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the middle of the day, outdoors with barely any covering. And I'm like, again, love the people that put it together. Terrible idea
not my
to
gig,
do it
man.
like in the middle of the day, and it was just hot as hell. And they were out there, and they were all like playing kickball, and they all had like a carnival games and stuff.
Potato sack race?
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, this is miserable. Like who thought it was a good idea for 95-degree weather to do all this? So I didn't go to that, but I'm not going to mention that, Jeremy. Jeremy talks about how we talked about that amongst friends, but Jeremy, our buddy, got expelled. He ended up still being able to graduate with us, but his junior year, I believe, got expelled for something inappropriate. Anyway, so and then the final day, it was a family day, but it was roller skating. So we all went to a roller skating rink, and we had it to ourselves for a couple of hours, and we had fun doing that. Except it was also a weird thing where it's like, okay, half of us probably have never roller skated, or if we have, we haven't done it since high school. So we're all sitting there.
I think I could manage, but I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Well,
doing
that's
it.
the thing. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm able to like hold my own, except I can only go half a mile an hour. So I'm like sitting there like slowly. They had the little walker things, which are like the PVC pipes that you can hold on to and drag, meant for
gosh.
kids.
Yeah.
But a lot of the adults were holding on to them.
I bet you can get some good speed going on
Yeah,
that.
and they were, except again meant for kids. So me being 6'4", I'm like, yeah, let me try this. And I swear I looked like an old man, like hunched over.
You can't adjust them.
No, you couldn't, because they're meant for kids. Now, some adults who were only 5'2", perfect for them. Like they were able to zoom all around. Our friend Tracy was like super master, like
I was going to say,
skater.
I bet there's some people that are just rolling on
So
people
she
there.
got it, and she's like backward skating. She's like showing off, doing twirls. And so what she does is, so it was like an 80s, 90s themed party, right? So I wore like my Legends of the Hidden Temple outfit, and I was just like goofing around. But then like when I'm skating, like I'm going really slow, so it looks
You
like
really needed the helmet.
Exactly.
You really did need it.
So she whips out her phone, and she's sitting there. It's like, oh, I'm going to get Kenny skating. So she's like skating backwards, and she wipes herself out.
Good for her.
And like immediately, like you see me, I'm slowly skating, then you see the camera just like shake all around.
Oh,
and, like
do you have
fly
the
in the
video?
air.
We got to post the video.
So I'm definitely gonna post that, and she thank God didn't hurt herself. What's funny is this happened like immediately upon skating, so she won the award for first person to fall down. They created a trophy for first person to fall down.
But no one knew that it was going to be awarded.
Exactly. So the fact that she did it, I thought was hilarious because she was probably the most like
Someone's got to be
experienced
out
skater.
there, judging that award.
Yeah.
We need to make sure.
Oh, they
who's
definitely saw
falling.
it. They definitely saw it. So, unbeknownst to us, they did have some awards like best family costume, best first person to fall down, stuff like that. And then our friend Linda,
Tell them they called for the couple skate.
they did.
All right, ladies, grab your man. It's
I
couple
wish.
skate
I wish they
time.
did couple skate. They did backward skate. I wish they did like a red light, green light.
Yeah. Red light, green. There's 4 corners. There's just the straight up race. Back in Merritt Island, they had the skating rink.
So the place we went to was in Melbourne, and we were all like, "Why didn't we do Merritt Island? Like that's where we
Is it
all
still
went to." That was
around?
yeah, it closed like 10 years ago.
Right.
So, ooh. All right. So again, our friend Linda was there. She is an amazing skater, 6 months pregnant, and she was like skating like crazy. Her husband, even better of a skater, like he's out there and he's literally like crouching down like an inch from the ground, like he legit
like
looked like a
gliding
professional.
on ice.
Exactly. He was killing it out there. So they hand out a bunch of awards, and like at the very end, as we're all like packing up, the person who organized it walks up to, his name is Drew. So Linda's husband, Drew, did not go to high school with us, by the way. And she goes, "Hey, we have one more trophy, and it was for best skater, but I didn't know your name, and I didn't want to call you out and like describe you and try to like to put you out there. So I wanted to like give this to you. Congratulations." But she did that kind of like just with us as we're like taking off our skates. And then she's like, "I didn't want to embarrass you in doing that." And then all I could think about was like, this is more embarrassing. Like to admit that you
She
didn't.
could have just said, "Hey, I forgot to give this one out. Here's your."
Yeah, exactly. But like to sit there and be
It
like,
was a tough choice, but we finally.
It's like, I wanted to give this to you, but I didn't know who you are. So here, I'm like, that is even more embarrassing than anything. But it, again, overall,
no, thank you, ma'am.
it was a lot of fun. And to be honest, like they talked about like, again, fun. There are some things that could be improved. They were like, "Hey, Kenny, you're a host. Why didn't you host the events?" And I'm like, well, no one asked me.
The thing is, when you say improved, it doesn't matter anymore because the next one, if you have another one, is going to be when you're much older, 10 years older, and no one's going to want us go roller skating. You're going to be too old.
Well, okay, so
The
that's,
drinking, fine. The name tags, yeah.
But see, I think when they're talking about improve, it's like, okay, so next time we do this, like, hey, let's not make it where we're just tossing the mic to people who don't want to talk. Like, let's do the name tags. Let's maybe do those icebreaker questions. Like, we can play 2 truths and a lie. Hey, Kenny, you're a host. Do like a trivia night or something, and it can all be
Right.
trivia about things that happened while we
They
were in
should
high
have
school.
known you have a podcast,
Yeah.
#1 rated podcast, going 8 weeks in a row. So
Yeah, exactly.
they should know this.
So,
I'm just saying, stating facts here.
When Dixie John was saying, I
Just stating facts.
I shamed Olmec with me not knowing how to skate properly.
You don't know what happened to Olmec. He's
That's
been
the
in
same.
jail for a
and
long
then,
time now.
Brooke on our chats, like I went rollerblading with my dad once as a kid. He fell on top of me and he was like 300 pounds. Like that's got to be traumatizing. That you can't you don't want to go rollerblading anymore.
She can get him back now if she wanted to. If she can fall on someone else.
There you go. Rollerblading or roller skates, like the quads. What do you think you'd be better at?
Oh, like quads are terrible.
See, I'm the opposite. Quads, I have way more balance compared to blades. So we talked about it too. A lot of us were like, hey, like we had to go to a different city for the roller skating. Why not go to the ice skating rink, which is actually in the city that we went to? Because we have an ice skating
That would
rink.
have been much better.
So yeah, we thought about that. But to be honest, we even thought about
Like
just
half
doing
of
it.
Rockledge worked at the ice skating rink in Rockledge too.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that was my 20-year reunion fun experience. We talked about like, oh, let's see you in 5 years for the 25th, and I'm like, not doing that. If we do it again, we'll make it 30. It's going to be the 30-year reunion. Like we're not doing 25. But I will say, and this is the old man in me talking, everyone looked the same. Everyone was all like, you know what I mean? Like when when you look at pictures of people in high school compared to now, you'd be like, oh yeah, you're clearly 20 years older. But I think because we've all known each other as long as we have, like I can see a photo from high school and then look at you now and be like, you look exactly the same. Like
right.
I am not
Right.
seeing any difference.
Think about before social media when someone had their 10-year reunion, 20-year reunion. You hadn't seen that person.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's like a shock. You're like Kenny Samsel? Mm-hmm. Ned Ryerson?
There we go. I was waiting for that. No, that's pretty good. I will say, so the difference with you is you had glasses in high school and you got LASIK. So that would be the biggest differential. If I had never seen you since high school.
I was really skinny in high school as well.
I think you're not like obese now or anything, but.
No, but I mean, yeah. But I was definitely like, one of my teachers called me string bean.
Ooh, that's pretty insulting.
Yeah, if I would have thought it, if I'd known better back then, I would have sued her for hateful
hate speech, hate crime.
Speech.
All right,
to all string beans out there.
So moving on, I put on our agenda taste test because you said you had one.
So do you have something to talk briefly while I go get it?
I love how prepared you are for the show.
Well, I mean, I have to. It's got to stay cold.
Okay. Oh, that's a hint. That's a hint. So
It's a hint, folks.
I'll fill time. So yeah, Matt's gonna go get that going. And just you know what, I'm gonna use this time to check in. Matt's got way better quads. That's creepy. Yeah. So this is gonna be awkward. Me doing the show by myself. That's gonna be weird. Let's see, scrolling up. Yeah, okay, so that person said that. Okay, yeah, this is a theater of the mind, folks. Just sitting there talking. Oh, hey, he's back. All right. So I'll thank you, man. You're like so aggressive with it. All right. By the way, I intentionally butchered that. Like, clearly I'm a radio professional. I probably could have like promoted our merch or promoted a sticker or whatever, but I didn't. Because I wanted to point out that Matt is very unprepared.
This is exactly what happens when I have to go get something out of the fridge.
All right, Matt. So what did you
I
present
made an
to us?
impulse purchase.
Okay.
I was at the liquor store.
Yes, and that is true. When Dixie John says, "Shouldn't lawyers be prepared?"
No, you fly by the seat. The best
right.
thinking comes on the fly.
So you went to a liquor store.
I was buying something else. I had to buy a gift for somebody.
Was it liquor?
Yes.
All right.
And up at the register was a freezer
Okay.
that had alcoholic ice cream.
Ooh.
So
okay.
What do we have here, Kenny? I don't have it right in front of me, so I can't read it. I'm asking you to describe what I bought,
So
please.
it's a brand called Proof, and it's alcoholic ice cream. And yeah, it looks like
here's what happened. I looked at it. I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to buy this. This looks kind of cheesy. And I was trying to think of a reason to buy it. I was trying to talk myself into it. I said, you know what? I'm just going to do this. Put it off on the show.
okay.
We have to.
That would be good.
So why don't you take a taste test?
So I opened it and I can smell the alcohol in it right now.
Let me
Like
get it.
you can definitely
let me get a
do that.
whiff.
Well, let me say it. It's called Mocha Chocolate Moonshine.
There were other flavors too.
So
But that one I just
So we're
I
to
thought might
assume
be
there's probably
easiest.
like a hint of coffee in here, chocolate, obviously, and then moonshine is, I guess, the alcohol. But when you open it up, you can definitely do it. So I'm gonna get a little scoop for you. I'll hand it over to you. I'm gonna eat directly out of the container.
Oh yeah, you could definitely
All right.
smell it.
So this is mocha. chocolate
So hold on,
moonshine.
before we try it, I was thinking that going into this, I was like, "There's no way it's going to be strong." You know, there's just
but
going to be
not.
it's going to be lightly, alcoholic.
Well, okay, so I'm reading it, and it doesn't look like it says what the actual 7% alcohol by
Okay,
volume.
that's
so
legit.
it says 7%.
But I was
and-
going to say, don't let it drip. Don't let it drip. Dude.
Oh yeah, but I was gonna say good catch. It doesn't say what a serving size is, so I don't know. Like,
Well, my based on
I'm
smelling
gonna eat it now because it's gonna melt.
Based on smelling it, I'm thinking you're going to taste the alcohol.
Oh yeah, woo! You can definitely taste the alcohol.
I kind of like it.
That's really good, man.
I'm not gonna lie. That is solid.
I'm not gonna lie either. That is actually
So
really tasty.
here's man, I'm about to unload some thoughts here.
Oh man,
When I was
That
buying
is
it,
really
when I was
good.
driving home with that, I thought to myself, please let this be good. Please let it be good.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because the next step is to make a milkshake with it.
but see, the problem is that would dilute it. I would think.
I mean,
think
you're still
'cause-
going to get.
Yeah, but you're gonna water it down because if you add milk to that, it dilutes the amount of alcohol, and you're not gonna taste it. The only thing that would work.
But it's still going to be 7%, right?
No, it won't.
because you're still. But if let's just say, hold on, think about this, sir.
I am.
Let's just say it's 7% for the whole thing.
Okay.
All right. You go and make a milkshake with that full
Yes.
thing and just pour milk in it to mix it to whatever degree.
Yes.
You're still going to get drunk from the
But
7%.
no, it's going to be diluted because you're assuming you're going to consume the whole thing at once. So yes, technically yes. But if you did it like a normal person and you're only supposed to eat half of it, but yet you make the milkshake and you pour milk with 0% alcohol in it,
if you
is
had
going
5
to
beers,
dilute it.
If you had 5 beers and like water with it, you may not have a hangover, but you're going to get drunk.
No, you're not as much because the water is hydrating you and it's lessening the alcohol.
Let's focus on the important.
It's
issue
like-
here.
it's like-
the important issue is that shit is good.
It is really good.
That is good.
It is really good. How much was it for a pint?
It was $9.
That's not bad for it. I'm going to ask you to put this back in the freezer because we don't want it to melt. But yeah, that was actually quite tasty. And it's called Proof.
I got it at Total Wine.
Yeah, okay, great. It's called Proof, and it was mocha chocolate moonshine. And again, it was very tasty. So I'm actually going to take a look at what other flavors are out there. No, okay. People don't understand if you dilute it with other items, you're not keeping the same alcohol by volume for the whole container that you're having. That's not how physics and chemistry works. All right, but let me see. You said Proof alcoholic ice cream?
This was your opportunity to talk about merch while I was gone.
No, I was ranting about it. So here are the other flavors that they have. Yes, I'm over 21. I hate. Why do websites ask if you're over 21 if you're going to like a beer website or a liquor website?
Maybe you can order it and be influenced by
Yeah,
it. I
but
don't know.
they're not checking.
There was another flavor.
If you click yes and you're under 21, no one's going to know.
There was another flavor that I was intrigued about, but I don't think they had it. I forget what it was now.
All right, so they actually have a lot. So they
Ooh,
have
all right, go through 'em.
They
What
have
we got?
mocha chocolate moonshine.
That's what we had.
They had strawberry moonshine, so that's pretty much the same. Bourbon caramel, which
That was
seems-
the other one they didn't have, but I would have gotten that.
Yeah. These other ones are really so. I'm going to go through all the moonshine ones. They have blackberry moonshine, cheesecake moonshine, apple pie moonshine, which actually the type of moonshine that's apple pie
Yeah,
is very
yeah.
popular. Pumpkin spice moonshine.
I would try that.
Peppermint moonshine.
No.
Now, there's a lot of people that like the minty ice cream sort of flavor. All right, and here's the other ones. They have pistachio rum, which wouldn't be bad. I like pistachios.
I've never once ordered pistachio
There's
ice cream.
bourbon chocolate cherry. I think your dishwasher is going off. It
No,
sounds
I didn't
like.
close the freezer.
Okay. So there's bourbon chocolate cherry, and then there's coconut rum, which that seems more like a sorbet than it would be.
That might be
like an
good
ice
on a
cream.
nice float.
That would be coconut rum.
I have a blender. I'm going to be making
Actually,
I'm going to making a smoothie.
Let me say
an
this.
alcoholic smoothie.
I think
later
if
on.
you were to do like a pina colada,
Yeah.
and go ahead, I'll tell you. If you were to do like a pina colada and you poured some of the coconut rum boozy ice cream in it, I think that would actually work quite well. And yeah, okay, so
I feel like I just time traveled. You want to know why?
you literally ran
I'm gonna.
in and out
All
of
right,
there.
this is. It felt like I just time traveled. I have my phone right, and we kind of were.
Yeah.
I'm watching the live stream. I was running back, and I can see myself getting up out of the seat. So I was literally back, like right as I was leaving.
You are time traveling.
Time travel. Space time.
That was good. That was a good taste test, Matt. I appreciate that. We should.
eating that later.
No, well, I'm probably going to end up going to the store and getting a pint of that later.
Get the caramel.
See, that wouldn't be bad. I really like that. That chocolate moonshine was really good.
Again, going into it, I was like, oh, this is going to be so light. It's going to have a very hint of it because they don't want to overdo it. That's like, okay, you have an ice cream company that's just trying to add a flavor with alcohol in it,
Yeah.
and they just do it very lightly. This is an alcoholic company adding ice cream is what it sounded like.
And
That's
great
and
addition.
smelling it. When we opened it, I was pleasantly pleased that you could smell the moonshine.
Oh yeah. Are you a moonshine fan?
I just know where to get it. I mean, I'm not a fan, but I would definitely order.
Well, I think a lot of those those bars that are typically like you're sitting on a barrel and they have like overweight bartenders with beards and a ball cap.
There was the bar downtown. They're still there. On Wall Street, and they have the apple pie moonshine shots that are delicious.
All right.
Do you
There's
remember what bar it is?
No. There is a place in downtown Disney called Homecoming, and it's Southern Cookin'. And with the Southern Cookin', they have like moonshine, like a bunch of flavored moonshine. They have a sweet tea moonshine. Oh boy, you do
We
not.
we watched the UCF game on January 1 there once on New Year's Day. We
That
had
wasn't-
we had
but-
brunch. What is
that wasn't the January 1st one. That was it used to be the Globe. I forgot what it's called now. But if you're talking about the one on Wall Street,
Yeah.
that's it used to be the Globe. That's all I could tell you. But sweet tea moonshine, I'm telling you, is absolutely amazing. And you don't taste the alcohol at all, and it really just tastes like you're drinking sweet tea.
it just hits you
And that will just
very quickly.
that will mess you up the entire night.
I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, Matt's gonna look this up, and then no
'cause I
one's
want
gonna
to know
care.
what that bar
The
is because
pay-
they had great apple pie.
But the payoff
moonshine.
isn't going to be there. Our listeners aren't going to be like, "I'm so glad Matt spent that time finding that bar
I'm
there."
going to tell you what it is when I
Again,
figure it out.
that
but go
payoff
ahead.
is not going to be worth it.
It's not there anymore.
Yeah, we should just sit here and.
Well, moving
wait.
on. You've been doing great by yourself, man.
Is this a precursor to how the show's going to be?
Yeah. Look, slowly but surely, I'm gonna just start exiting to do stuff. I have my laundry drying. I need to, or my laundry gone. I need to move it over to the dryer.
And of course, Jeremy in our chat is basically saying he's had so much illegal moonshine because his uncle had DEA connections. I'm like, that sounds about right. That sounds all right. All right, moving on. I started thinking about this. This could actually be Kenny's greatest thoughts, but I don't really know like how it applies to like come up with the answer. So I started thinking like people who invent stuff, and I'm not talking about like inventing the steam engine or inventing the printing press. I'm not talking about like grand inventions. I'm just talking about inventions that we know exist that clearly had to be invented. Does the inventor have to use that product for the rest of their life? And here's an example. The person who invented water beds. Guy was like, yeah, it'd be more comfortable is if you
bed
had,
of
you had
water,
a
sleeping on water.
sack full of water and you sleep on it. Do you think when he invented water beds that for the rest of his life he has to sleep in a water bed? Because if he doesn't and he sleeps in a regular bed at any point in his life by choice, he's like, it's like, oh, you clearly don't believe in your own product. You don't believe in what you've made.
Well, think of people who came up with like medical inventions like vaccines. Do they have to consistently use
But
these
see,
vaccines?
that's not
and
the
such?
same. I'm talking about like a waterbed is an alternative and a convenience. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost a luxury item.
Like the guy who invented, or the guy or girl who invented toilet paper. Do you think that they had to keep using
Again,
it?
you're talking about things that don't have a normalized alternative, dummy.
I would like to think that they did use those inventions.
Anyway,
Maybe, but sometimes people invent stuff that's not necessarily for them personally.
But that's the thing. But then it seems like, again, I use the example of waterbed because it's
Right.
like you're a trader.
maybe that person loves sleeping on a bed, but a loved one was like, I would like to sleep on something more fluid.
Right. Well, what about air mattress? What about the person who invented the air mattress? If they ever go camping and you see them with a sleeping bag, you're like, you're a traitor. You clearly aren't a believer
Do
in your
you
own
not
product.
like your own invention?
Yeah, exactly. That's why. So I called the topic "Married to Your Invention," and yes, Brooke says that those are very bad examples, Matt. All of yours. So
She's a bad example.
But that's why. But that's why I said like. Yeah, like so. If you're the person who came up, I'm trying to think of like other convenience inventions that have alternatives. So the one I thought up was air mattress and waterbed because they're both beds. The super racist guy who does My Pillow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he ever uses a pillow that isn't a My Pillow?
No, I believe he probably
Yeah.
only uses his product because I think his personality will not allow him to
Now,
use anything else.
the person who invented Crocs. Will you ever catch them in any
Say
scenario?
he's at some formal 20-year reunion.
see,
is he wearing his
But
fancy
see,
shoes?
That's the thing. If you are the inventor of Crocs, you want to show it off all the time. But is there ever, and then you want to prove how versatile they are. You can use them for fashion. You can use them for comfort. You can use them for athletics. So
But
you-
at what point is the inventor of Crocs? He's like, I don't have to wear these things. They sell themselves, man.
But no, but not even for promotion. Again, if I ran into the inventor of Crocs and they're wearing Nikes, I'm going to look at them and be like, well, clearly you know your product is subpar because you're wearing Nikes. So why should I buy your product now?
Do you think-
you don't even believe in it and you invented it?
What about people who like Tiger Woods or Matthew McConaughey for the commercials, the car commercials that they're in.
That's weird because they're being paid.
Right.
They're
but
being paid.
do you think that they had some they have some other car in their garage and they're like, I can't drive this now until my contract's up. This is bullshit.
Yeah, probably, and I definitely know that that's been the case for a lot of
What happens
endorsements.
if they're caught driving some?
I'm sure it's a breach of contract. They lose a bunch of money, if not have to pay back a bunch of money. But that's what I think. But again, they're being endorsed. Someone who invented something, they clearly were passionate enough about it to go through with it, sell it, market it, try to make money from it. So for the rest of their life, do you think they have to be married to that invention?
No, because maybe someone just invented something because they knew that they could create a product, not because that's what they were.
Yeah.
That's what they were wanting for themselves.
But here's the thing: if you created that product and you're seen with another product, then again, you clearly know that your product is subpar, and I don't like that. You need to stick by your guns.
You should ask. You know what? Why don't you tweet the creator,
The inventor of the waterbed?
of Crocs?
Oh, I was
and
still
ask,
going the
hey,
waterbed's the first one that came
Just
to
a
my head.
curious question here: do you consistently wear Crocs? Because you're the creator.
So you know what would be something. So I'm gonna go back to the waterbed guy. Do you think the waterbed guy? Let's imagine a world where he's so hardcore about waterbeds. He's like, I'm gonna go on vacation. I'm gonna call up the Hilton and demand that they have a waterbed in my room. And then he's like, do you know who I am? I am Thomas Waterbed.
Waterman.
I am Thomas Betterton Waterman.
What if you like? No. Like waterbed. What is it in like French or something? He's like a Frenchman, and he's like, but it's in French, but you still know that it's waterbed. Waterbed.
it's like agua bed.
the Spanish agua.
Yeah.
What's bed?
No,
in,
but that's what
Spanish?
makes. Yeah, no, I'm leaving it as bed because that's what it's
Agua
funny.
bed.
It's like I am Pedro.
Bed de agua.
I am Pedro Aguabed, and I demand.
No. Pedro Aguabed de Hernandez Perez.
You're petered. You petered with the improv there. Ooh, I'm getting a scam text saying, "Are you okay?"
You know what that means.
You know what that means.
You know-
Anyway, off air, I got some stories for you. All right, guys.
Are we going to tell the
No, this
listeners?
is definitely not a listener thing. All right, guys, we're gonna move along to what we like to talk about every single time this time of the.
Some of our listeners do know what that means.
Some of them do. But yeah, we're gonna discuss things that have happened in the world around us since our last show. It is our new segment we like to call "What's Going On."
Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on?
The bar was called Hooch, by the way.
Ah, there you go. Well, what's going on? Brought to you by our amazing sponsors, Amber at Classic Man Cuts. She successful surgery. Everything seems to be going well. She's doing well. Time will tell to see if that's truly what the solution is to what's going on with her.
She was telling me a funny story that I guess one of her clients, she told the client like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be having surgery. This is surgery got to get for breast cancer, and probably going to be out for a month.
Mm-hmm.
And he's apparently the gentleman said, "Oh, you're going to be cutting hair again?" And she's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "No, I don't think he will be." Like was insistent that she won't be able to cut hair
Yeah.
ever again. Did she tell you this?
Well, not the ever again part, but there were a lot of people that have been questioning her 1 month return timetable. The
I
never
can't
again
speak
is
to
weird.
that. I can't speak to that.
The
I
never
don't know,
again
but,
part is weird.
But she was just telling me that this guy was like, "How are you going to be able to cut hair again?" And she's like, "Because I can after I recover."
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to have some critical issue with my. I don't know. I can't even think right now.
Yeah, all right. This isn't a what's going on story, but I was scrolling through the web, and the Coke Dream has had terrible ratings, and a lot of people are trashing it. But a lot of people were wondering.
Is that the one I
Yeah,
liked?
that's the one you hated. The
Okay.
marshmallow one is the one.
Marshmallow one I liked, yeah.
But they were saying that a lot of people's theories as to what it tastes like. They're saying mango or citrus and mango. But another person says if you took a bunch of yellow Tic Tacs and you dropped them in Coke and you let them dissolve. That's what it tasted like. Because it
That's
was
great.
that overly sweet artificial taste.
What if you had some really, really wild skill where you could taste something bad or good, really, and you had this crazy ability of explaining if you were to take, like you just said, yellow Tic Tacs,
Yeah.
this, and this, and mix it together, that's what this bad thing would, taste like. And someone just had all of this in their
Maybe.
head, instantly could share that.
I remember one of the challenges on The Apprentice, like 10 years ago, they had to make a new Snapple flavor, and they went to like the Snapple factory, and they have like all these jars of flavorings that you can mix together like a mad scientist and come up with any combination flavor you want for their Snapple drink, and that's what they were coming up with. So it was
we had to
very
just
interesting.
go to one of those Coke machines,
The freestyle.
the freestyle, and just Frankenstein our own drink,
could.
and then
Try to make it famous.
try and make something good. We got to write it down though, so that
No,
we just like
here's
2
what you
parts
do.
this, 3. You
You fill the entire thing and you sip it, and then I call you on the phone and said, "You're not gonna like this," and then I'll dump the entire thing out and I'll do it over again.
you're referencing what 2 episodes ago?
I don't know. It's probably longer than that. All right, here's what's going on. Every single year, the Merriam-Webster dictionary always adds new words and phrases to it. Here are some of this year's good ones. Pumpkin spice finally made it
That was
to
not
the...
in the.
Yeah. Pumpkin spice
dictionary.
is in there. The exclamation of yeet made it in there. And of course, this is always culture. Everyone always degrades it, but like, hey, pop culture is part of the vernacular. Like Homer Simpson's dope made it.
The
A
thing
few
is,
years
is
ago.
like, but with pop culture, it like things that were said in the '90s, right? Maybe they got added into the dictionary, but people don't say it anymore,
Well,
right?
I don't-
Like, are you just adding it because it's popular right now?
Maybe they
'cause some of these
removed it.
things, like the word "yeet," may not have longevity, and you're putting it into the dictionary.
I mean, maybe. Another one that got in there is ICYMI, the acronym for "In Case You Missed It."
yeah,
So that's going to be in there. And plethora of other things. Apparently, they add
I don't like the acronyms.
They add
It's a
hundreds in
dictionary,
there.
not an acronym like reference guide.
and then another one, and I'm surprised it isn't in there, MacGyver, but as a verb.
He MacGyvered
Like I MacGyvered this situation, or I MacGyvered this camera setup
something
together.
like that. People,
But here's the thing: that's from the
Like,
80s.
yeah,
MacGyver is from
teens-
the 80s, and people
teens
are,
in their 20s, they may not know who MacGyver
but
is.
people still use that phrase, man. People are still using MacGyver now enough to where it's going. And I think people, even the
Speaking of
younger
things-
generation, can figure it out.
Did you see I'm sure you've seen the previews for the new Quantum Leap show that's coming out?
Yeah, you're really far away from the mic. And yes, I did.
The previews for the new Quantum Leap show that's coming out? What would you like to say to that, Kenny?
Yes, I did, and it's really, it really is intriguing.
I want to watch it. Let's watch it. Let's have a watch party.
Next story. You fan of cereal?
Oh, of course. I have like 5 different varieties of cereal in my
We're all a fan of
closet
cereal.
right now.
Have you ever
My pantry.
done the thing where, oh no, I'm out of milk, so you try to put like orange juice
Never.
in there?
Never.
You've never?
Nope.
You've never poured
Never water,
cereal?
never any other beverage other than milk.
All right, let me ask this: have you ever bought the single like cup cereals that like have the little rip off top and it's like the single serve?
I've had them, never bought them.
Okay, all right. Well, Kellogg's is coming out now. Originally, I thought it was really stupid, but let me explain. Kellogg's is coming out with a new cereal line of their most popular cereals: Frosted Flakes, Apple Jacks, stuff like that. Just add water.
No.
Just add water.
Why do you like this idea?
But here's the thing. So it's actually using powdered milk and cereal in it, so that way just adding water is done. Now, a lot of people are knocking it, basically saying this is a terrible idea. But the main reason they're doing it is for places like food banks and food shelters, or places that may not have access to refrigeration,
Okay.
like homeless shelters and stuff. And that way you don't have to rely on having cold milk in order to enjoy cereal.
All right, you had me
so
in the first
that's
half.
what I'm saying.
You had me
See,
in the first half.
Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, so but would you try it if I were to able to get the Just Add Water cereal? Do you think you'd try a bowl?
I wouldn't try it. No.
Really?
Speaking of, one of our listeners claims Apple Jacks is not a popular cereal. I literally have Apple Jacks in my pantry right now because it's a great.
Apple Jacks is delicious.
Fruit Loops, not so much. Apple Jacks, I think, has a more bold flavor. Fruit Loops is just each one tastes the same. It's just color.
Okay.
You know, like if I
What about Fruity Pebbles?
the fruity ones? What, as far
Fruity Pebbles.
I know. I'm sorry. Are you talking about like the individual pebbles?
No, like compare a bowl of Fruity Pebbles versus a bowl of Fruit Loops.
Oh, Pebbles has incredibly more flavor.
Okay, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What would you say are the top like 3 kid cereals from our childhood?
Kids cereals.
Yeah, look, don't be saying no
man.
Raisin Bran and none of
No,
that shit.
no. Raisin Bran was garbage. Because did you ever get the multi pack of like cereal, like the individual cereals would sometimes come in the multi pack?
The thing is I would want those, but my parents would say those aren't worth it because they charge you more for the individual box.
But here's the thing. But it's cheaper than buying a bunch of boxes of different cereals.
Yeah.
Here's the problem.
the variety packs.
The Raisin Bran one box would never be touched. Every other cereal would be
I always
eaten.
thought it was corn pops. No one wants corn pops.
Corn Pops.
Remember when
Gotta have my Pops.
when you and I volunteered at the Thanksgiving breakfast brunch thing.
That's right.
And it was for the homeless, and we would serve them breakfast.
Yeah.
And we cleaned up, took their stuff,
Yeah.
whatever.
We're the true heroes, yes.
A lot of people were, because we gave them a box of cereal and the milk. A lot of people were like, hey, can I get do you have Frosted Flakes back there?
Yeah.
Because we were just giving out random
Frosted
cereal.
Flakes is a solid cereal.
For sure. Even though I don't know if that's necessarily in the kids category, because
Mm-hmm.
I think adults.
I think Corn Pops would be considered a kid cereal.
Corn Pops?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Frosted Flakes, though, I think it goes both.
Frosted
adult,
Flakes is
adult
definitely
and kid.
one. Cheerios is another one, and it's weird. Cheerios has a weird bell curve because when you're really young,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
eat
yeah.
Cheerios. When you get older, no Cheerios. Back to adult
Meanwhile,
Cheerios.
someone in the marketing department is trying to figure out a way to get that 20s
Yeah.
to 30s,
They tried coming out-
cereal. Like no one in that age group buys.
But here's
Cheerios.
they tried coming out with pumpkin spice Cheerios. They tried coming out with frosted Cheerios. Not the same.
The one that did, I think, work was the
Honey.
apple cinnamon.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Honey Nut. Honey Nut Cheerios has been out for a
Oh
while.
yeah. Okay, so the top 3 kids cereals
here's-
that were
okay.
like the go-to.
But here, see, this is weird because I think it's a generational thing. I think Cookie Crisp was a huge kid cereal because
I only got that
cookies for
very
breakfast.
limited because
Cookies for breakfast.
it destroyed the roof of your mouth.
That was Captain Crunch.
Captain
too.
Crunch does that too.
That was bad.
Lucky Charms, I think, is a staple.
Lucky Charms is definitely a staple. If you
I didn't like Lucky Charms, but that is a staple.
If you went the fruit route, you definitely Lucky Charms. If you went the fruity route, the chocolate ones, I would say. Now, were you a Cocoa Puffs, a Cocoa Krispies? Any of those?
Cocoa Krispies.
I think Cuckoo
yeah.
for Cocoa Puffs or
Those-
Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah, no, look, those are good. I would have to say,
Frosted Flakes was definitely a staple
yeah,
too.
that is a staple. That and Lucky Charms are definitely the two.
Did you eat Kix?
No,
Because the branding
No.
was kid tested, mother approved because it
Yeah.
was like a healthy cereal, even though it was
Trix as
sugary.
well.
Trix is a good one. But see, again, that's why I was like trying to
I
focus.
don't really think you can find Trix anymore.
Oh yeah, it's still around.
Yeah?
They have the Trix yogurt is still. Well, no, that they discontinued
yogurt
that.
thing.
Trix yogurt was there. I will say now, and it's uber specific, but the Special K cereal, but the ones with like little mini chocolate bars in there. It's like little mini chunks of dark chocolate with Special K. It is amazing because it turns your milk into like a chocolate
All right,
milk afterwards.
My top 3 go to that if you were to unleash like a bunch of kids individually as a science project, they're gonna go for Lucky Charms, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Frosted Flakes.
See, Cinnamon Toast Crunch was pretty good too.
Yeah.
that one was.
And
was good.
I will 100% make the claim that from when I was a kid until now, they don't use as much cinnamon sugar as they used to.
Oh, of course not. Either that or our taste buds have changed. All right, we got to move on to our next news story. Oh man, I'm stuck. Of course, my
Pull
phone
up the
froze.
agenda, man. Come on.
No, the next news story is what I'm doing that. This one's really, really crazy. A Brazilian man who went out fishing with, some of his friends or whatever. Their boat had capsized, and a lot of his friends unfortunately drowned. But he survived 11 days out in the Atlantic because he crawled into a freezer and was floating along in the freezer. That
Hold on, that's what he did?
yeah,
I read the headline. I thought that he like froze himself
no.
and he's been in there for a
No,
while.
he survived
And
11
then
days.
He thawed Encino Man
He
style.
took refuge inside of a freezer after his boat sank. He was able to jump inside a floating cooler to stay alive. A group of fishermen found him 11 days later off the coast of Suriname. He was treated in a hospital, and unfortunately, he's back in. Authorities had to confiscate him because he didn't have identification. I'm like, yeah, he was
They had to-
floating in a cooler
they
for
had
11
to
days.
confiscate him. They detained him, Kenny.
That's the right word.
I still like the idea if he was frozen at sea, Captain America
Anyway.
style, Encino Man style. You get it.
All right, well, that's what's going on, and we always transition from what's going on to our moof of the week.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You little stupid and wow.
I want to say move for the week.
You little dumb and wow.
All right, Matt, this is something that was confiscated, not detained. Nigerian officials ended up seizing thousands of donkey penises that were en route to Hong Kong, an official said. Apparently, sacks of donkey...
So that's where my donkey penises have been shipped off to.
Yep, exactly. Apparently, they were falsely declared as cow penises, but upon investigation found they were donkey penises. A total...
Who makes that judgment call? They're like, we've detained donkey penises, and so they're like, call the expert. It's like the Pawn Star guys are like, let me call my guy real quick.
Yeah.
He comes in and goes, no. Those are not donkey
That's
penises.
that's not a cow
Those are-
penis.
I know a donkey penis. When I see it, that's a cow penis.
Well, apparently, the donkey skin on the penis is huge. Of merchants in China, they use it for medicinal purposes. But unfortunately,
Medicinal purposes, but I like how you throw that in there.
the only thing is, while other animals' skins are able to be used in Nigeria, it's actually illegal to kill donkeys because they use them for their workforce out in the fields and in the farms. And apparently, they're getting a shortage of donkeys because they're being killed off for their penis skin being sent out overseas. This is the move of the week because I'm just going to say everyone involved in this is absolute move.
This is just a tragedy.
The person, because you got to think about it. You're not killing a donkey and sending a whole dead donkey over. You have to kill the donkey and then specifically
What if
grab his penis,
Okay, so
chop it off, shove it in a bag.
What if, like, before they knew that there was this donkey penis enterprise, right, in Nigeria, right? Hold on, just bear with me for a
I
second.
want that to be the name of the show so bad, but we can't do it.
In Nigeria, there's like the sheriff, and he's like, just think of it like in the movies, some small town village. The sheriff's like doing his own paperwork, and they're like, "Sheriff, someone murdered my donkey," and they're like, "Well, let's go take a look." And they're like, "This is very strange. He's missing a penis. They killed this donkey, and he's missing penis." Next thing you know, next week, donkeys showing up dead all over the place, missing penises. That sheriff's like, "We got ourselves a mystery here." Fast forward an hour and a half later into the movie, they discover it's the Donkey Penis Enterprise going off to China.
Donkey Penis Enterprise. If we sold more merch, I would want a merch that said Donkey Penis Enterprise.
No. It's just it has like a donkey, like all smiling and shit. And it's just like around it, like a company.
Yeah,
Donkey
exactly.
Penis Enterprises.
Donkey Penises Incorporated.
I'm
DPI.
gonna see if we can get someone to design that for us.
Yeah. Hey,
Donkey
listen.
Penis Enterprises.
Okay, Move Troop. How many of you would buy a Donkey Penises Incorporated shirt?
No, Enterprises Inked.
Yeah.
ENT.
Yeah, ENT, Donkey.
They're gonna think
Penis-
it's entertainment though.
That is true. Donkey Penis Entertainment.
No, it's got to be Donkey Penis Enterprises, and it's like a donkey, like smiling. It's like on the side of a cereal box type
I
smile.
like it. I like it. Donkey Penis Enterprise. Donkey Penis Entertainment is what will happen when we eventually get shut down and we have to create like another company
We're
to
gonna be
redo
sitting
it.
around like our podcast got shut down. What do you want to do now?
Donkey Penis Entertainment.
Just dude, or we just do the movie. We do the movie.
Ooh, I like that.
You
idea.
know, we got ourselves a mystery here, guys. The small-time sheriff, investigates, finds out.
Well,
There's a bunch of Chinamen coming in at the border, handing off donkey penises.
I'm telling you right now, we got some fans that would buy some DPE shirts. All right, guys, we're gonna move along. So everyone's favorite part of the show, clearly. Matt, you actually came up with this idea for this upcoming song. we were driving around in the car, and you even mentioned it, and I intentionally waited to see if you remember what the song would be. I don't know if you do or not. When you hear it, you'll definitely be bobbing your head and singing along. So this is a song I definitely know that you know. And, I mean, we'll just get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the theme for Matt's Lonely Thoughts.
He is lonely, laying in his bed. He is alone, bored on his phone, surfing Reddit. Tough questions, hypotheticals. He wonders why anyone say it's a spectacle. Big baby with fruit, he is scared. He's had many weeks still unprepared. Online is where the free stickers be. Please buy our merch, we need the money. Hit on his lonely thoughts. Hit on his lonely thoughts. Move you. Hit on his lonely thoughts. It's Matt's lonely thoughts on the Turbo Show.
So I'll tell you right now, that probably strained my voice more than any other theme I've tried doing.
Did you use a different microphone or something for that one?
No, because I was trying to, again, hit like those high notes. Steve Winwood has a great range, by the way.
Bring me a higher love. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't want to do the falsetto voice, so I was trying to like sing it as best as I could. But anyway.
I did tell you that, this is more, it may not be a hypothetical. It's not a hypothetical, but we're just going to have a nice conversation.
I told you I'm not prepared.
ruin
the bit.
we talked about the YouTube rabbit hole.
Yes.
And I was talking with some of my coworkers about the YouTube rabbit hole, and it's funny because they acknowledge that that's happened to them, and they're like, next thing you know, 4 hours later, they're like, what have I been doing?
Yes. Especially late at night in bed. And I know I say that as like the preface of your songs, but definitely it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go to bed early. It's 11 o'clock. Next thing you know, 3 a.m.
I'm curious you've told me in the past some of the rabbit holes that you've gone
Oh
down.
yeah.
Here's some of my latest ones, and I want to know from our Moof troops what are there certain YouTube channels or like things that you follow or you just end up always watching, like if you're just bored. So for me, one of the latest ones that I've actually got, it's so nerdy and like but it's interesting. I never would have thought this, but there is a guy that's like a professional expert top tier Risk player, board game Risk.
Oh, the board game Risk. Okay.
The board game Risk. And he streams and he shows, like he's playing people online and he talks about his strategies.
Yeah.
And like you and I could play Risk and we're just having like, stupid fun. This guy is so serious about it and like how he calculates how much, troops to put on a certain country, where the borders are, how to manipulate the other players into fighting each other while you just kind of stand off. I could watch a game for him, like with other pros, could last like an hour and a half, and I can tell you I've watched several of his games.
That's nice.
And I'm just like, I never would have. I'm probably gonna get bored with it, but I'm just like, this is so. It's just like a niche thing I've never seen before. So that's one channel.
One of the things that I've gotten into is it's more so people than it is like categories. But this person, it's basically he explains why things are the way they are, but it's things that you never think about. For example, he had a recent video where it's like, why are airport runway? Why are they numbered the way they're numbered? It's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I know why they are.
Yeah, so do I. And if you want to know, tune in next episode. No, but yeah, it's based on like the angle and on the circumference. But like he also explains, did you know that like every couple of decades they have to change them because it's based off of the magnetic north, and magnetic north changes. So yeah, that's stuff that I'll fall down the YouTube rabbit hole. It's like, you know what? I don't know why airport runways are numbered the way they are. And then that gets me into, it's like, I never knew why, Italy's mountain ranges actually hinder it from, winning gold medal in this one event. It's like random things like that.
So one of the one of the interesting ones that anyone could probably watch a couple episodes, because they're very short, they're like maybe 8 minutes long, is just YouTube slow-mo guys. Okay, they're like younger dudes. They have multiple like high speed cameras,
Yeah.
like where it's like 50,000 frames per second.
Yeah, those.
And they will be
super
like,
slow-mo.
today we're going to blow up a balloon. You know, that's like the very easiest thing they'll do. They will find ways to do things that like explode or splash or mixing like confetti together. And
yeah.
they'll do it in super slow-mo, like a fire starting, a spark or whatever. And you watch it in super slow-mo up close and it's like super high definition. Some of the things that they do is incredibly fascinating to watch.
There's another one similar to that. It's the hydraulic press, where they put
Oh,
random
yeah, yeah.
objects in a hydraulic press that just mashes it down. Some of them are like kind of dumb. It's like whatever, but they'll do something like an entire McDonald's value meal, like a Big Mac meal, and they'll just put the entire thing. And you just see it like grossly ooze out of the metal
It's
presses.
just so gross. Have you ever seen the guy, speaking of mixing two things together, there's a guy on, I don't think it's on YouTube, but he will stick food into Crocs
Oh,
and then put his foot
interesting.
in there and it squeezes out the front of the Crocs
Oh,
like
that is
beans
weird.
or whatever, and it just comes. It's so disgusting. I've only seen a couple of them. Like, it's so stupid.
So I don't remember I think it's like Vitamix or whatever they did. I think they still do it, but there was a time where Vitamix, it was a blender, and it's one of those where it's like professional grade blenders. So they did a series called Will It Blend, and they literally would put like a hockey puck, an iPhone, like non-food objects just to see what will blend. Sometimes doesn't blend. Like the hockey puck,
It's
they'll
just a
sit
big
there.
letdown.
They'll sit there and be like, "Nope, hockey puck doesn't blend." But then other times they'll be like, camcorder, and they'll put the camcorder blends.
Right.
Like it's interesting.
I used to wonder, like, if they, because they did iPhones when they came out,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you're gonna ruin like a $400 iPhone. Probably already broken. They just want to see if it would blend.
Sometimes, and I found this out, sometimes some of those videos, they'll get iPhones free from the manufacturer. So
To blend it, because they want to know if it'll blend.
Exactly. Well, exactly. But no, I've noticed a lot of them. Like, there's one that they review cell phones, and they wanted to test out, like, does these bulletproof screens really work? And they'll literally get a bunch of free phones and be like, I'm going to destroy the new iPhone 13, and you like try to shoot it or whatever. But Apple will send them that because they want to like show off
Yeah.
their product. So it's advertising. For
One of the other channels that I will fall asleep listening to on purpose. Don't know why, but it helps me fall asleep, and it's interesting. Is there's a channel that he's like an astrophysicist or something, and he just talks about like black holes or string theory or nebulas and just anything space related, and like how can we approach light speed on a theoretical level. And those videos could be like 20 minutes long. I will just fall asleep listening to them, and they're so incredibly interesting.
Another one, a lot of people are chiming in. Like Jessica said, those funny animal videos, like those are sometimes, kind of cool to go into and everything. But I know another one, there's very different variations of it. Like a lot of people that like the pimple popping videos or like the earwax cleaning videos, those are comforting to them. The one that's comforting to me is there's a channel that does like those phone repairs.
Okay.
But they do cleanings, and it's the close-up cleaning of like the
that would be
charging
interesting.
port,
Yeah,
the
that'd be
speakers.
interesting to watch.
But then you look at it and you're like, "Holy crap! How disgusting is my phone?
Yeah.
Like, look at all that lint and stuff." I'm gonna pull up. It's a quick
Has there ever
video.
been something that's like unrelated to anything so this would fall into that category somewhat, but like one of our listeners is into HVAC.
Check this out.
and
I'm going to
shit
show you
and,
how I can afford this car.
engineering, and I was like,
$178.
kind of interested to know how this stuff
That
works.
was
So I literally pulled up it was like a class on that topic, and I'm trying to understand what's going on. Don't understand nothing, but I watched it for a little bit, and I was like, I'm already getting lost.
So here's one, and they do it in like a sped up time, but like it's just so satisfying them cleaning out
that
the
is
ports.
gross.
Like, but again, you're like, that's all pocket lint and hair and skin and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's stuff from your from your pocket, leave it on the
Yeah,
couch.
exactly. But then they clean it, and then it's just so satisfying. Like it's
Okay.
it's enthralling. Then they do some of the ones where sometimes they clean out even like the earbuds.
Oh no.
Yeah, when they clean out the
that's
earbuds
so
and stuff.
awful.
Yeah. Anyway, that's stuff that I'll get lost
Have you
into.
ever
hours.
seen the dude from New York who all he does? He's known for speaking Chinese. He's you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. But
He's
describe it.
straight, white looking dude.
Yes. Then yes. I do.
and he
Yep.
goes into he's in New York and he knows like fluent Chinese.
Yep.
And he'll go in and speak English for a little bit, and then he'll just bust out the Chinese, Mandarin Chinese,
Yeah.
whatever. And the people are like, "What the?" And they're impressed.
Yeah.
But he's now doing other languages.
Ooh.
To the point where he's like, I'm going to spend 2 weeks learning.
That's awesome.
He's like, I'm going to spend 2 weeks learning.
Like Portuguese or something.
No, not even. It could be like whatever in Nigeria, right? And he'll learn how to speak it over 2 weeks, and then he'll go to this Nigerian not convention, but like a festival.
Yeah.
And there's like people selling food and trinkets, and he'll go up and say, "Yeah, I've never been in Nigeria. What is this?" And then he'll start saying, "Well, how much is it? What if I gave you this?"
Yeah.
all in Nigerian, and
That's
they're like,
cool.
"What the hell?" And then so people will question like, is your wife like Nigerian? How do you know this? And he's like, "Oh, I studied." And they're like,
That's
"How
good.
long you been studying?" He goes, 2 weeks, and they're like, "No way." But you watch these videos, and it's incredible how fast he picks up
Yeah.
on languages.
It would be hilarious if he does that. Like, let's use the Chinese as an example. Goes up to someone and he's like, hears them. They have an accent. He speaks Chinese, and they just stare at him and be like, "I don't know what you're saying, man. I don't speak Chinese." And then it's like, ooh, racist.
Two of the most impressive ones that I've seen him do. He went to Mexico and he had learned like a very, very rare, I don't know what to call
Almost like indigenous Mayan or something like that.
Mayan. And he went and met the people, and he was speaking this Mayan language with them, and they were so shocked that he
Nice.
knew these words. The other one was he went out to like New Mexico and spoke,
Like
Cherokee.
Navajo or something?
Yeah, Navajo.
So I know that I took Spanish in high school and college. I know you took French and then Spanish and stuff. Is there a language that you've always wanted to learn and just be like, you know what? I think it would be cool to learn this. I got two of them.
I think I would want to learn Japanese.
See, that's one of them.
Yeah, I think I would want to learn Japanese.
I think Japanese is just so audibly comforting. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it seems
Yeah.
like it's calm. So Japanese would be one. The other one I say is Italian. Because I think Italian's got like it's like the smooth talking.
The thing is, though, is like you can't really use it too much.
Oh no, that's same thing with Japanese. Like I'm
like
not talking.
obviously we know here in the U.S. speaking Spanish would be
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. Is there a language that you just want to learn just so you learn, just so you
Right.
know it, not to actually like for
I
applicable
think
purposes?
yeah.
But yeah,
But
Japanese and
Italian is similar to
it is.
Spanish.
It is, but it sounds smoother. You
It
know
does.
what I mean?
It
Like
does.
Italian just flows
and then
better.
Japanese sounds like it's very
It's like staccato to the point.
yeah very like if you were like percussion very very
I
quick.
really like that. All right, moves. That was episode 71. I'm telling you right now.
We're gonna go get dinner. Kenny and I have a dinner to get to because we have this business that we're gonna maybe
Yes,
start up.
exactly. And right
Donkey
now,
Penis Enterprises.
So 2moves.com/merch, and you can buy all the regular 2moves merch, free shipping. Just stand by. You're gonna get some Donkey Penis Enterprise shirts. Just you wait.
just the next photo of me just eating moonshine ice cream. DPE t-shirt.
Don't say DP and moonshine and donk. Yeah. Anyway.
I say good day. I say good day
Nope.
to you.
I already ended it. Except we're live on Facebook, so they heard that. Ha!
The 4 people who made it to the end of the show.
Except,
You like the save? You like the save?
all right, Facebook. Catch you later.